The first thing you need to know about the stock market is that it goes through cycles, periodic ups and downs over time. The word bull is used to describe an upturn and bear is used to describe a downturn. In 1929, the market was in full bull mode with stock prices soaring consistently higher. To any American at the time, it seemed the boom would never end, but of course, it did. October 19th, 1929 came to be called Black Tuesday as more than 16 million stocks were sold. Over the coming days, stock prices continued to fall, losing billions of dollars for investors and plunging the nation into the Great Depression. The coming years would be tough for Americans who were now unemployed, hungry, and hopeless. But what exactly happened? The depression of the threadbare 30s is immediately preceded by the prosperity of the roaring 20s. What went wrong? Probably the largest single cause of the stock market crash was that the bull market of the 1920s was really a lie. You can make any jokes about that you'd like. Stock prices were inflated because the demand for them was high. The price was going up so fast that everyone was desperate to climb on board and make their fortune. So desperate, in fact, that they would put their entire life savings into the stock market. When that wasn't enough, people began borrowing money to buy the stocks, often using the stocks they already owned as collateral. This is called buying on margin, and it's dangerous for two reasons. First of all, this person is now deep in debt, and they were never going to pay off that debt. They were just going to keep using credit to buy more stocks and incur even more debt. Secondly, stock prices were soaring because so many people were buying, but really the people were just buying on credit and didn't have any actual money. All they owned was stock. It's like buying a cake from a bakery and promising you'll pay them later. Then you go back to the bakery and ask for another cake. They say, "No, you don't have any money, you can't afford a cake." But you show them the first cake you bought and say, "See, I already have a cake. Even if I can't pay you with money, you'll be able to take that cake back and then we'll be even." So the bakery agrees and gives you the cake and then says, "Oh look, we've sold 2 cakes today. Demand for cakes is going up. We should start charging more." And you keep doing this and other people join you and the price of cake keeps going up. Everyone thinks they're getting richer, but what's actually happening is you have a whole bunch of cake, and the bakery has a whole bunch of IOUs, and no one really has any money. Sooner or later, it's all going to fall apart. Another underlying problem of the time was overproduction. Simply, we were all getting too good at our jobs. There was too much stuff on the market and too few people buying it. Normally, goods are produced by workers who then buy the goods with the money they made. However, advances in technology created an overproduction of goods, which meant prices dropped. Business owners worried about losing profit cut wages. Workers now couldn't afford anything, so there was even less demand and prices were driven even lower. This all came at the same time as European nations were complaining that they wouldn't be able to pay back their war debt, and the U.S. was worsening the problem by raising the tariff. Also, the land in the Mississippi Valley was suffering from being overfarmed and creating the so-called Dust Bowl where no one could grow anything and everyone was going broke. In short, everything was going wrong. Herbert Hoover was lucky enough to be president at the time. He was a very hands-off leader and was initially reluctant to do anything about the financial crisis, believing things would improve on their own. After 2 years, though, Hoover was pretty clearly wrong, so he reluctantly asked Congress to do something. They created the Reconstruction Finance Corporation, which would loan money to companies or local governments that needed it. The measure came too late, though, both for the country and the president. Franklin Roosevelt won the 1932 election and inherited a country in some of the direst circumstances in its history.